Welcome to Barnstable Today. I'm Nick Cortez. On Patriots Day, one of the world's greatest athletic traditions will be renewed on the long road from Hopkinton to Boston with the 115th running of the Boston Marathon. This year, some 27,000 participants will take on the 26.2-mile challenge, but only a handful will have a realistic shot to win. The rest do it for any number of reasons: for a personal test of will and endurance, for the memory of a loved one, for a charitable cause. For Barnstable High School Principal Pat Clark, running the marathon is a personal tradition. This year is his 19th consecutive Boston Marathon. Recently, we sat down with Pat to talk about why he keeps going back, and we learned that his reasons go well beyond a love of logging the miles. Talk to me a little bit about your history running the Boston Marathon.
I started the Boston Marathon my junior year in college on a bet. I went to Stonehill College, and my friend Danny Regan, who was from Rhode Island, asked me to do it for our sophomore year. And I said I wasn't a runner. I couldn't stand running. It was always the punishment that a coach gave you for doing something foolish in a practice or what have you. So he said, if I do it this year, you're doing it with me next year. And we made a bet. And so sophomore year of college, we went to Fenway Park, watched the ball game, and then went out into Kenmore Square. And about 4.5 hours later, Danny, with a couple of friends who went to BC, came down into Kenmore Square. There they were. And with about a mile or so to go to the finish, a bunch of us got up and ran the last mile, in boat shoes or flip-flops or whatever we had on. And I was hooked. I said, this is, an unbelievable event. And so I kept my word, and I ran it with him junior year, and then stuck with it. We ran together again senior year, and then we ran it once or twice, 2 times after college together. And then Dan didn't stick with it. I've heckled him every year about that. But it was the best bet I ever lost, I guess.
That was your first foray into serious distance running then? Absolutely,
yes, or running really at all. I had done the Falmouth Road Race a couple of times with friends, maybe in high school or a local road race or what have you, but I wasn't a runner.
This is your 19th consecutive year running the Boston Marathon. Why do you keep doing it?
It's a phenomenal event. Anybody who goes out and plays golf and that's their hobby, they're never going to wear the green jacket, and we know that. Anyone who goes out and plays tennis, they're not going to play at center court at Wimbledon, and they know that. But anyone who wants to buy themselves a decent pair of running sneakers and has a little determination can compete in the premier event in this sport. So it's very different than most sports, and the spirit of the marathon is phenomenal. It's really the day per year where people are rooting all day long for one another, and that's rare, really, in our world. Everyone you see is giving each other encouragement, trying to compete but cooperate. You want to see the other guy do well, so it draws you back there to Hopkinton every single year. It's a pull. And
seems like the Boston Marathon has a lot of parallels to life, and life lessons can be gleaned from it.
Tremendous. I make a lot of analogies, and maybe some people would say too many, in things like we do in the building here. My letters that I write to faculty or to students or parent volunteers are called the extra mile. So thanks for going the extra mile, for coming to chaperone a dance or helping out a student in need or something of that nature. But the idea of sticking with a goal and planning appropriately to get to that goal has everything to do with the effective effort campaign that we ask for of students here in terms of how they use their time, how they use their resources, having commitment and having focus. That really is all needed to complete the marathon, and it's all needed to, we think, be successful in life, to be successful as a student, to be successful as a teacher.
Let's go to race day. Take us inside what you're thinking when you're standing there, ready to start, and kind of as the race goes on. For people who haven't experienced this and maybe never would try it, take us into your mindset as the race goes on from beginning to end.
I just try to stay very relaxed and really go through the first half of the race as if it's just like any other run. I try to do the first half marathon just about the same time. I try to complete that at about 1:45, maybe to 1:47 is right about the number. And it's pretty relaxing. You're going through the countryside. You're jammed with people, but you realize it's like you feel like you're in that with all of these people. It's like you're all doing it together. And then we get to the halfway point, which is Wellesley College. And the Wellesley College student body is known for just being outrageously loud and costumes, and you can hear them like a quarter of a mile away with that crowd really roaring. And that's great because you need a little lift there at the second half of the race, because you know the second half is going to be quite tough with the series of 4 hills known as Heartbreak Hill. So it gives you a good emotional boost. And then you go right down through, once you get through Wellesley and you get into Newton, and you know the hills are coming once you turn on the fire station there where the famous Johnny Kelly statue is. Then you know you have your work cut out for you, because you have a couple of miles of really up and some winding stuff. And from there to BC is a lot of work. But when you get to Boston College, it's like, okay, if I'm feeling good at mile 21, I'm going to be okay here. I'm going to hang in there and be all right. If people haven't been and they like just the environment of athleticism and the environment of camaraderie, it's an incredible day to go watch something in Boston.
Before we let you go here, I know that you're running for a charity. You're raising some money.
I am. I'm running for the Special Olympics. My father, Ed Clark, who passed away 7 years ago now, was a big supporter of the Special Olympics, and he ended his career working with the Nauset Inc., which then became Capabilities, and many of the clients at Capabilities are also Special Olympians. So back many years ago, Dave Serow, who's a local builder, but at the time was the president of the Cape and Island Special Olympics, is a friend, and said, "How about you do your fundraising for the Special Olympics?" And Guy Morse, who is the race director, whose children went through the Barnstable Public Schools, he resides here in Centerville. He has a very interesting job that makes him kind of an international athletic diplomat type of role, and he's a great guy. He donates the number to the Special Olympics so I can do the fundraising for them. And we will have the big Special Olympics event here, right on our new turf and track, on May 14th. So any money that gets raised through my running will go directly to the local Special Olympics of Massachusetts. So it's an extra little boost to realize that you're doing it for something that's a good cause, like the Special Olympics.
Sure. Now, if people want to help you out and help your cause and help the Special Olympics cause, what can you tell people about how to do that?
You can. There's one of two ways to make a donation. You can go on to specialolympicsma.org, specialolympicsmass.org. And there are 6 people in the state of Massachusetts who are running Boston for the Special Olympics. You'll see, just click on the name, and it's self-explanatory to make a donation. Or if you're here at Barnstable High School, the seniors have made some paper sneakers, some shoe bucks, and you pay $1 and you get the color in your sneaker and put a little message on it. And they're putting those sneakers up on the wall in the 1200s, which they've dubbed that heartbreak ramp. We have a ramp that goes from the lower level of the building to the upper level. So I thought that was cute and creative that they came up with heartbreak ramp. But those sneakers, those colors in sneakers with little inspirational messages are up there on the wall. So if people wanted to come in and color in a sneaker and post it on heartbreak ramp, that would be appreciated.
Well, Pat, much luck and wish you much success as you run your 19th Boston Marathon, and thanks for spending some time with us.
Thank you much.
Good luck to Pat and all the residents of Barnstable participating in this year's Boston Marathon. We'll all be cheering you on. Well, that's all for now. I'm Nick Cortez, and we'll see you next time on Barnstable Today.